Hey everyone, welcome to Gentle PSD. I hope you guys are doing great. Today in this video we are going to learn about how to export videos in Premiere Pro. In this video I will show you how to export your video in the best possible format and best possible codec and the best possible bitrate without losing any quality in the output of your video. Other than that, I want to teach you one of the most life-saving techniques that I learned throughout my experience in Premiere Pro. You guys will love this technique that I'm going to show you. Believe me, you will thank me later. So before we begin our tutorial, please make sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any future tutorials. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Now here we have this footage and let's play it. Yeah, that looks amazing. So before we start exporting our video, we have to make sure that we mark the in point and out point. It is extremely important. Let's say if you are editing large amount of footages, we always miss some kind of videos here and there like this, like here and here. If you don't mark the in point and out point, and when you export it, Premiere automatically include these two videos along with this in between gaps durations, which will make your output useless. And to avoid that kind of scenarios, we have to make sure the in point and out point specifically. And to mark the in point and out point, take the time indicator where you want the render to start. I will take it at the start of the video and press I on your keyboard. There, we now mark the in point. We will now mark the out point. I will mark at the end of this video. Take the time indicator to the end of this video and press O on your keyboard. I will press O. There, we now mark the both in and out. Now if I export this video, Premiere Pro will only render what's inside the in and out point, and these two videos won't be a problem to us since it will be left behind. Now to export the video, what you have to do, go to File and click on Export, and here we have Media, or the shortcut key is press Ctrl M on your keyboard. I will click here like so. We have this export settings and we have the preview here. And here we have the format, presets, video codec and bitrate, and everything we can customize as per our need. First we start with our format. Basically there are two types of video formats that you can almost use in all of your videos, and that is H.264 and QuickTime. And for Windows users, you will probably not have this QuickTime option because you don't have the QuickTime installed on your computer. QuickTime is a free video player from Apple and you can download it on Google for free. I will leave a link in the description for you guys to download, so Windows users don't have to worry about that options. For now we will choose the H.264, and for the preset we will choose the match source high bitrate. This will let the Premiere to render the video at its highest possible resolution, and at the same time it will manage the video file size as economical as possible, so you don't have to worry about large file size. I will choose the match source high bitrate. Now as for the output, you can select here and type in the whatever name you want or whatever the destination you like. I will just type in S1 and click save. Now here we have our effects, video, audio, multiplexer, captions and publish. We will only focus on the video settings and audio settings like resolution, frame rate, bitrate, aspect ratio and things like that. Since our video resolution is 1920 and 1080, it automatically chooses on its own, so you don't have to change anything. But if you want to change anything in the video resolution, all you have to do, click on this checkbox over here and just change the resolution you like 2030, and it will change the aspect ratio as per your need. If you don't want the video aspect ratio to change automatically, you can always click on this chain icon to disable that and change the height as per your need, just like 1080 there. For now I don't need this, so I will just uncheck this chain icon and click on the checkbox to reset the resolution there, and it's back to 1920 and 1080. The video's original frame rate is 30 frames per second, so I will leave it as it is. But if you want to change this, again click on the stick icon and click on the 30 frames per second. You can choose 29, 25, 24. Keep in mind, the lesser the frame, the more duration of your video and more laggy it will become. If your video is 30 frames per second, you can dial it down up to 24 frames per second. It won't look much difference. But if you want to speed up your video, you can always choose 50 or 60 frames per second. So keep that in mind. I will choose 30 as now. You will check the tick box now. After settling your resolution, frame rate and aspect ratio, what you have to do, go down here, and here we have our bitrate settings. In the bitrate settings, we have constant bitrate, variable bitrate 1 pass and variable bitrate 2 pass. So what does that mean? I will explain. CBR means constant bitrate. So basically it will make your video bitrate constant. You can use constant bitrate, but if you have a video of different resolution in the same sequence and you want to export it at the perfect resolution, CBR is not the right option. It will make sure all of your videos are in constant bitrate and you will end up losing some video quality there. So I suggest you use VBR 1 pass or VBR 2 pass. I always use VBR 1 pass because it is one of the best options right there. And if you want to use VBR 2 pass, variable bitrate, basically you're just ballooning your video file size. So I wouldn't suggest that, but you can choose that. I will choose the variable bitrate 1 pass. Now here we have the target bitrate and maximum bitrate. So what does that mean? Target bitrate is where we set the minimum bitrate of our video. I have already set the target bitrate as 10 and maximum bitrate as 12. So what does that mean? Whenever I export my sequence, my video bitrate will be 10 MB per second to 12 MB per second. So if you want to have a perfect higher resolution, you can always dial down this to 47 or 46 like that and change the maximum bitrate to 50. By doing this, you let the Premiere Pro know that you want the video to be in the best resolution as possible. At the same time, you don't care about the video file size. And if you look at the estimated file size, and it says 113 MB. So when our bitrate was 10 to 12, our estimated file size was 25 MB. And since we changed the target bitrate and maximum bitrate to 46 to 49, and our video size becomes 4 times than before. And basically we turned a 25 MB video to 113 MB video. So make sure you keep that in mind. So my suggestion would be set the target bitrate to 10 and the maximum target bitrate to 12. This will make sure your video at the highest quality possible. At the same time, by setting this bitrate, you're making sure that your video is exporting in highest quality as possible. At the same time, the file size should be as economical as possible. And that's it for your video settings. Now we have to go to our audio. Here we have our audio settings format. I always use ASU format and I think it's default. It's an amazing codec and it's always favorable on almost all kinds of sites. So you don't have to worry about the audio format when you're uploading this on your vlog or blog or YouTube, anything like that. So that's it. And here we have the sample rate. I always choose the highest settings for our audio since it won't mess with our video file size, so you don't have to worry about that. So I will choose the 48,000 Hz. And for channel stereo, or you can use 5.1, but stereo is the mainstream, so I will use the stereo. Audio quality is high, of course. You don't want to medium or low, just select high. And the bitrate is 320, of course the highest possible bitrate. Here we have used maximum render quality and import into project, set time code, render alpha channel only. You don't have to mess with any of this. You can click on this use maximum render quality. It will increase your file size, of course, but it won't increase your video quality like the bitrate we did before. So you don't have to worry about that. It will increase your video size, but only a little. So you can use the maximum render quality if you want. I always uncheck this use maximum render quality because you can't see the difference at all. It looks always same to me, so I just uncheck this. Here we have time interpolation as frame sampling. We will leave it as it is, and estimated file size is 25 MB. And all you have to do is click export. It will automatically render your video in the sequence that is present in between an in and out point. And just like that, we now exported our video. Let's play it and see how it looks. Go to file and right click over here, go to open with and select VLC player. There. That looks good. Now this is the first technique, and the second technique is a lifesaver. Believe me when I say lifesaver, it is a lifesaver. Before I start teaching you the second technique, there is a mistake that we made. And what is that? And that is we missed the L on our gentle PSD. It's gentle PSD. It's not sounding right. Assume this situation. Let's just say you had this big large footage in your sequence and you exported it on Premiere, and it took you around 2 hours to render it. But you have to submit this to your client in half an hour. And when you try to monitor it, you notice that you made this simple mistake and you don't want to submit this errored video and you want to render the video again, but you don't have the time. And how do you fix that? I will explain you how you fix that. As I said before, this is the lifesaver technique that I'm going to teach you, so make sure you learn this well. What you have to do? Here we have our Premiere Pro sequence, and let's just say go to here. If you try to export it on Premiere, it will take around 2 hours to export your video, and you don't want that since you don't have that much time. So this technique, we have to render it inside our sequence. And how do you do that? You have to go to sequence and click on the render in to out. So what does that mean? It will basically render what's inside our in point and out point in our sequence inside without exporting our video. So you won't have output, but at the same time you can preview your video without any lag. Whether it's 4K or 8K, you don't have to worry about that. So we will just click the render in and out. We now rendered our video inside our sequence, and you can see this green line over here. This indicates that our video are rendered, and if I play it, it won't be laggy, it will be silky smooth. Now we have to export our video. Press Ctrl M on your keyboard and select the sequence. Change the destination you want. I will just change it to S2. Click save. We will leave the settings as it is. So before we exporting our video, we have to make sure our export times are considerably increased. So how do you do that? To do that, you have to click on this use previews. Basically, it will just take the data that we pre-rendered in our sequence on our video and it apply it on the output of our file. So make sure you click the use previews and click the export. There, it's almost finished. And just like that, we finished exporting our video, and it's super easy and it's super effective. Let's play it. And we forgot to add our L letter in our video, and I left it deliberately because I wanted to show you something really special. And what is that? As I said before, you made this mistake. You basically don't have much time to render it. You have to submit this video in about half an hour, but the render time is around 2 hours. And how do you fix that and render it super fast? As I said before, this technique is a lifesaver, and I will show you now why it is a lifesaver. Here in this sequence, take the time indicator here and click on the text layer. Select the type tool and click over here. Press L on your keyboard to add the letter L, and that's it. We now fixed our video and we have to export it super fast. This technique is super special. And why do I say that? That is, if you look closely around here, we have our video rendered in and out, and there is one place that is still not rendered, and that is the place where we added our L letter. Other than that, almost all our videos are rendered intact. So basically means when I export this video, Premiere will only render this part around and basically take this pre-rendered sequence settings and apply it on our output video. Just press Ctrl M on your keyboard. Make sure you use the previews and click export. And just like that, we exported our video in 1/3 of the actual render time. It's super amazing techniques. You guys should follow this from now on. And that's it guys, and that's how you export your video in Premiere Pro. Okay guys, we are finally at the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any doubts, please leave a comment in the comment section. I will reply to you as soon as I can. And if you like this video, hit the like button, and if you want to see more amazing tutorials like this, click the subscribe button. Until our next tutorial, I hope you guys stay safe, and thank you.